Hi folks, it's Bob from Mountain Crest Farms again with another one of these little coffee chats. Y'all seem to like the one I did the other day, and I got some encouragement in the comments down below and in the couple of private messages that were sent to my email that y'all seem to, or some of y'all seem to like them and want me to keep doing them. So I will. One thing, I do not drink a cup of coffee this big. This is the second time I've done this video this morning. The first file somehow got corrupted between the camera and the computer, and I lost it and have to do it again. So now I have switched. I'm not drinking coffee for y'all this morning, with y'all this morning. I'm drinking what's called switchel. Switchel's sort of, I always describe it as an 1850s version of Gatorade. It's, hang on just a second, let me wave at this neighbor going by. That's Leroy. He's a retired Delta mechanic. He helped keep the planes in the air. But anyway, Switchel's an 1850s version of Gatorade. I did a video on the recipe for Switchel, and I'll see if I can remember to put a little card up here in the corner. Click on it and it'll take you to that video. But anyway, it's not coffee time anymore. It's a little bit later than coffee time, so we're on Switchel. It's getting warm out here already. Let's see, a couple things. First thing, very first thing, most important thing in this video. Today is Monday. It is Memorial Day. And I hope, and knowing my video viewers, I think I'm correct in saying that y'all know what Memorial Day is about. It is not about barbecue and beer. Now, a lot of people celebrate Memorial Day with barbecue and beer. I've been known to do some barbecue on Memorial Day until 10 or 11 years ago. I probably did some beer with it too. But I don't do the beer with it anymore. But regardless of how you celebrate it, remember what it's about. It's about a whole bunch of people that have died to give us some freedoms in this country. Without getting too political, because I really don't want to have much politics on this channel. I'm real political, and I usually don't have any problems talking politics. But on this channel, I really want to keep the politics out of it. But without the politics getting in, we've let a lot of our freedoms go away. But that's not the fault of the people that died to give us those freedoms. That's our fault for letting them be taken away from us. And that's about all I'll say on that. But I will say we need to remember the men and women who gave their lives that we can have this little chat. There's countries in this world that wouldn't let me say whatever I wanted to say, to put it out there for the whole world to see. And I think it's awesome that we can. So let's remember what Memorial Day is all about. I've never been in the military. I was just a little bit too young for Vietnam and a few years too old for George Bush Sr.'s little excursion into Kuwait and Iraq. So I was sort of a tweener there. There were no conflicts. There were a couple little things, minor skirmishes. Grenada, when Reagan went into Grenada to get our students out when they had their little problem down there. I think that took 2 days. And then there was getting Manuel Noriega out of being in charge of Panama. But that was about the only military actions we did. So I was never in the military. I almost went in once, and I'll tell you all about that in another little story. But my father was in the military. 2019. He would be 100 years old this October if he were still alive. And he spent 26 years in the Air Force. Well, not in the Air Force. He went in the Army Air Corps before there was an Air Force. He dropped out of college. He was an engineering student. And he saw World War II coming before Pearl Harbor. And he dropped out of college early in 1941 and joined the Army Air Corps. And then spent 26 years in, I know 1941 to 1964 is not 26 years, but somehow the way they count your time and everything, he wound up with 26 years in. Was a pilot, fighter pilot during World War II. Korean War, he flew transport aircraft, cargo aircraft, and then in 1960 they took his wings away and put him to fly in a desk. He finished the war. He finished his time in the service as chief maintenance officer for the Strategic Air Command. So I was raised in the military. I have a lot of appreciation for the military, even though I've never served. And we owe them a lot. We owe them a lot. But anyway, please remember what Memorial Day is really for. Next thing I wanted to touch on in these coffee chats, since y'all like them, since you want me to continue to do them, y'all gonna have to help me out here. What am I supposed to be talking about? Stream of consciousness. Y'all don't want my stream of consciousness. Number one, I wouldn't be able to keep politics out of it. And number two, y'all would think I was a nut job by the time I got done. So I need to have some topics, and I want to talk about what y'all want. I don't want to talk about what I want. I'm not doing these videos for me. I'm doing these videos for y'all. So I'd appreciate it down in the comments if you would tell me, what is it you want me to talk about? See, the normal videos that I do for YouTube, they're how-to videos or do-it-yourself videos. And those things, they take a lot of time. 15-minute video, I'll have 10 hours at a time you count shooting it, and multiple cameras and editing. Those videos will take 10, 12 hours. This one's simple. I just look at the camera and talk. Then I go in and I upload it. No big deal. But they're hard because the DIY, how do you do stuff videos is simple. Step one, step two, you do this, then 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 you're finished. Those are easy to do. Thinking about these coffee chat videos has given me a whole new appreciation for people in talk radio. Whether I agree with them or not. I'm not going to pick any particular talk radio host or talk radio show and talk about how good it is. But even the ones I disagree with give me a lot of appreciation for somebody who can sit behind a microphone and talk for 3 hours, and whether you agree with what they say or not, do a good enough job of it that advertisers will keep buying advertising on their radio show day after day after day after day. Yeah, they get some calls coming in, and when they start struggling for something to fill the air with, I imagine they take more calls than when they're really wound up and have a whole lot to say. But still, can you imagine every day sitting behind a microphone for 3 hours and talking? It's called talk radio, and that's what it is. Can you imagine sitting there and talking for 3 hours? Coming up with something to say for 3 hours. This isn't but the second coffee chat that I've done, and I already have a whole new appreciation for those guys in talk radio. I may not like what they say. I may disagree with some of them, agree with others. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about what they do. I have a lot of appreciation for them. So y'all need to fill me in down there in the comments. Hey Bob, talk about this, or what do you think about that, or give me some ideas. Help me out here. This is sort of a collaboration between me and y'all. Me, I'm supposed to sit here and talk to the camera. But y'all, down there in the comments, you can tell me what to say to the camera, what you want to hear, and what you don't want to hear. I said I'd leave politics out. I do. I don't leave religion out. I don't get preachy. I'm not a preacher. But I will let politics creep in. Excuse me. No, I won't. I try not to let politics creep in. But I will let religion creep in every now and then. There's a lot of things that, just talking about homesteading, what we do with homesteading, there's a lot of stuff there that, to me, has a religious basis. Not a religious basis like organized religion. I've never been real fond of organized religion. I was born and raised a Presbyterian. Went to the Southern Baptist Church for a while. I'm now a member of a Lutheran church. But I've never been real denomination oriented. I can see things in every denomination that I like, and I can see things in every denomination that I disagree with. I haven't yet found a denomination or a church that preaches the Bible, period. Everybody wants to adjust it. Everybody wants to say, yeah, I believe in the Bible, except, or the Bible says this and this and this and this and this, and then they leave out, yeah, but it also says this and this, and those aren't real convenient for you, so you don't say that. So but I look around, look behind me, look at the woods back there. This was an accident of the Big Bang. Something just blew up one day, and this atom got with that atom, and atom, not atom as in Adam and Eve, but atom. These two atoms got together, and another pair got together, and all of a sudden there was a tree. And some other atoms got together. They mashed up in a little bit different way, and all of a sudden there was Bob, the toothless redneck pig farmer. And then some other atoms got together, and they became salmon. I love smoked salmon. I'm glad those atoms got together. No, that's not possible by accident. That's by design. Somebody designed this. What we see when we look around is not possible by accident. So that's about where I am on religion. I believe in the Bible. I am a Christian. That doesn't mean I knock other religions. I know what I am. I know what I believe. And if you want to sit down and talk about it, and you're another religion, then we'll talk about it. You might come my way. I don't think I'll be going your way. It'd be hard to get me away from Christianity, but that's about where I am on that. We'll talk some about homesteading. It just won't be the how to do this. It might be my thoughts and ideas about homesteading. What is homesteading? I've done a video on that. I think I'll put a card up there about that too. What homesteading is, what it's not, what you have to, you know, I'll do this, and it's in that video. I'm going to put the card up there, but I'll also say this. Homesteading is not what you do. It's not, do you grow a garden? And it's not, do you have pigs? And it's not, do you take what you get out of your garden to the farmer's market on Saturdays to sell? Homesteading is an attitude. Homesteading is right here. There are people who live in apartments in downtown Atlanta who are homesteaders. And there's a lot of those Atlanta people that have moved up here to the country that they're not homesteaders at all. They just wanted to drag Atlanta up here with them. They wanted to get rid of the traffic. They wanted a little bit more room. They wanted 2 acres of land. 2 acres of land in Atlanta to run you $1 million or more. But they're not homesteaders. Homesteading's an attitude. It's how you think. And we'll touch on that in some videos. What else? Well, there is that little thing about, and I try to remind you every time, but down there at the bottom, right about there, I think, maybe over here, there's a little thumbs up if you like the video. Of course, there's always a thumbs down if you don't like the video. You know, you can always give it a thumbs down. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel yet, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe. Hit that little subscribe button. Hit that little bell button so you'll get notifications when I do a video. And I'd appreciate y'all keep coming back. Whether it's the coffee chats in the morning, or pushing noon now today because of the camera messing up. Whether it's the coffee chats in the morning or my regular DIY videos. I mean, I do all sorts of it. How to repair an ATV. I've got an ATV. The ATV and the chainsaw are 2 most important tools on this place. And rather than have to pay somebody to fix them, I learned to fix them myself, and I'll show y'all how to do certain jobs. I'm not going to fix something that's not broke just to show you how, but when something tears up, I do a video while I'm repairing it. But there's the DIY videos like that. There's how to build a fence the right way, so you're not rebuilding it every 2 months, keeping it from falling down. I can even be opinionated about fencing. I've got one guy that I watch his channel and he watches mine. He's out in the Pacific Northwest. I think he's out in northern Idaho is where he is. And Chad, if you're watching, you can expect to see a video sometime in the not too awful distant future that maybe it'll change your mind about field fencing, because I'm opinionated about field fencing. I think it's the greatest fencing in the world. Some people hate it. I know why. It's because they don't install it right. And I'll be doing a video on how to install field fencing. Number 1, so it keeps your animals in, and number 2, so that you'll love it, because it's great fencing and it's economical. More videos on the pigs. I'm going to do one about what makes a large black pig the perfect beginner pig. And down there in the description, I'll put a link to a book I wrote about large black pigs. It's only available on Kindle, but I'll put a link to it. It's, if I remember right, the title is "Yesterday I Couldn't Spell Pig Farmer, and Today I Are One." And it's a good one for getting you started on pigs. But I'll do more videos on pigs and on the market garden and on microgreens and on the yurt and on repairing stuff. But those are how-to DIY videos. I'll say it again, I'm being repetitive. Down there in the bottom, in the comments, tell me what you'd like to hear me talk about in these coffee chats, okay? There's one thing I always talk about in these coffee chats, or in all of my videos, and now's about the time, because we're getting to the end of this video, now's about the time to remind you of the same 2 things every video. Number 1, the tomb was empty. And number 2, he is alive. So y'all have a fantastic Memorial Day. Remember what Memorial Day is all about, and I'll see you in the next video, okay?